The British Grand Prix was full of drama, but here today on Fog Racing it is the day after, and who got a high and who got a low? Oh, hell yeah. It's time for some driver ratings, and yeah, everybody loves us doing it, guys. Yeah, and we're ready to rock and roll, alright? Absolutely ready to rock and roll, brother. So, as you know, I normally just change this up every bloody single weekend in terms of an order that I actually do it in. But unless you're living under a rock, Nico Hulkenberg, right? Nico Hulkenberg got his first ever podium, and I feel like it would be wrong to start anywhere other than Nico Hulkenberg. So we are going to dive in at Sauber. What am I giving Nico Hulkenberg out of 10? I am giving Nico Hulkenberg a 10 out of 10, folks, right? There is just no two ways about it. This guy deserves more than a 10. If I could give him it, if it was physically possible, I would absolutely do it, pal. But the reality is, it's not. So I can't do it, unfortunately for him. But he's took one of the worst cars on the grid for P19 and finished third. And it wasn't a fluke where 16 drivers ahead of him crashed out. He literally did not make one single mistake, and he's beat guys like Hamilton on merit. Now, yeah, you can make excuses for like Leclerc, Russell for strategy, but you know what? He's kept his nose tidy and only finished behind the McLarens, and it makes you think like if the McLarens weren't so dominant, this guy could be looking at a win today. Because even just looking at the fastest laps, folks, right? McLaren 29.7, Piastri a 29.3. They're the only team in the 29s. Everyone else is in the 30s. So just goes to show you. Absolute class for Hulkenberg. Moving on though to Gabriel Bortoleto. I'm going to be brutally honest, guys. I don't even recall. This guy retired on lap 3. He flew off and then got going again, didn't he? And then it was all over anyway. So he did out qualify Hulkenberg, to be fair to him. I'll give him a 5 out of 10. Cyber, man, can't complain from a cyber perspective. Moving on though to RB. Liam Lawson started 15th, did not finish. I will give him a 5 out of 10. The RB doesn't look that good this weekend, and he got took out, so there you go. Right, Isaac Hadjar started 12th, did not finish. You know what? The conditions at the start of that safety car restart were treacherous. They should have, I mean, they get paid all this money for a reason, folks. And he drives straight into the back of Antonelli. It was pretty poor. What am I going to give Antonelli? Oh no, Isaac Hadjar. I mean, I'll give him a 4 because I do. It is his fault. It is his fault. Moving on though to Alpine, Franco Colapinto started from the pit lane, I believe, and did not finish because oh no, it well, I don't know where did this guy. I think he did start for the pit lane, but his fucking gearbox. He crashed in qualifying, and his gearbox broke mid pit. So it's not really an awful lot to say. Let me take a drink of my coke. 3 out of 10. Didn't really get to show what he could have done. Moving on though to Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly. Right. Qualified 8th, finished 6th. It's gonna be a 10 out of 10 for Pierre Gasly. Like, yeah, Hulkenberg's is better, right? That's the better of the 10s, but he's took for me the worst car on the grid to P6. So pretty decent drive if you ask me, brother. Moving on though to Haas. Ollie Behrman started 18th, finished 11th. I'm actually going to give Ollie Behrman a 7 out of 10. What's fucked him is the red flag in practice or no qualifying, and he got a 10-place grid penalty for that. You know, if he's starting where he qualified, which was what, 8th, he could be the guy on the podium. Now, you know, it's all hypothetically and all that shite, but he could have been. And finished 11th, and I mean, a few crashes in the race that weren't really his fault. So yeah, 7 for him. Esteban Ocon started 14th, finished 13th. Crashes, a lot of crashes that were his fault. I'll give him a 4 out of 10. Pretty poor weekend for Esteban Ocon. Moving on to Mercedes. Kimi Antonelli started 10th, did not finish, did get absolutely yeeted from Isaac Hadjar, but again, just another weekend that I don't really have a clue what the fuck going on. I honestly, guys, I don't understand what is going on with Mercedes strategy and a lot of teams in this race where they were just so persistent to stick on the slicks when it was nowhere near dry enough. Antonelli, though, it'll be 5 out of 10. As for George Russell, guy qualifies fourth, outperforms at Mercedes, may I add. That thing should have been sitting sixth every day of the week. And then they risk it, right, and I understand the element of risk, but look at that third sector, man, after the formation lap. That was never ever ready for slicks. It was just pissing points away, man. Don't understand it. So I'll give I'll give Russell a 6, which may sound harsh, but I mean, it's not all down to the team. Like, he's made a few calls there, and even at the end, he's sitting like what, seventh, and he's like, "Oh fuck it, we may as well go for it." Finishes 10th, and I get that, right? Oh, what's 6 points to Mercedes when they could risk it and maybe win it? That's never going to happen. Mess all round. Moving on to Red Bull, Yuki Tsunoda started 11th, finished 15th. A disaster this weekend again, taking people out, big penalties. 5 out of 10 for Yuki Tsunoda. Max Verstappen took pole position and finished 5th. Ooh. Right. Pole position yesterday was like a lap for the gods. But see the day, or yesterday, I don't really know what to make it because his car is set up for the dry. He was pretty competitive until he spun. And how much of his spin is down to Oscar Piastri brake testing him. So I'll give Verstappen a 7 out of 10. But this, to me, is the confirmation that he's at the title fight and it's a two-horse race. If he beat the McLarens today and, closed the gap a wee bit, then maybe you'd have had something, but not for me, brother. Anyway, moving on to what team? Williams. Carlos Sainz started 9th, finished 12th. Just one of those guys that was constantly about 10th and ended up finishing outside the points. It's a 6 out of 10. Carlos Sainz. Alexander Albon started 13th, finished 8th. It's going to be an 8 out of 10 for Alexander Albon. You can't really complain from his perspective, can you know? Right, moving on to Aston Martin. Alonso started 7th, finished 9th. His team fucking snookered him with the strategy pretty much on every hurdle, and he managed to get points. Like, I think the fact that Alonso and Russell finished in the points is a miracle, considering how early they pit it around lap 40 for the slick tyre, especially Alonso, by the way. So, you know what, I'll give Alonso a 7. Again, just like I said earlier, he has a part to play with the strategy. He could definitely say, well, no, I want to pit now. You can feel the track. But, yeah, Aston Martin, it's not the first time in these conditions they've done absolutely shite. But speaking of Lance Stroll, Aston Martin, started 17th, finished 7th. To me, this is the guy that got the most perfect strategy. And he's ended up finishing 7th when it looked like he had not an easy podium, but if how is Hulkenberg, right, managed to finish 26 seconds clear of Lance Stroll? Lance Stroll, that's a fucking WWE wrestler back in the day. Don't understand it. I will give Lance Stroll an 8 out of 10, but by God, most of that rating's dedicated to the team helping him massively. Moving on, we've only got 2 teams left. Ferrari, Charles Leclerc started 6th, finished 14th, talking of shite strategies. Charles Leclerc, what the fuck is this, man? I'm going to give him a 2 out of 10, honestly. Bottled pole position, and then I'm sick of this from Ferrari, though. Oh, we're shite when things turn wet in wet conditions. Leclerc, son, you need to step up to task. Just like Russell, why are you pitting at the end of the formation lap when it's fucking not dry? Ridiculous. Lewis Hamilton qualified 5th, finished 4th. It's going to be a 7 out of 10 for Lewis Hamilton. Quite a lot of mistakes in this race. How he's not beaten Nico Hulkenberg kind of has to be fucking studied because he should beat him. He didn't. Anyway, McLaren. So Oscar Piastri started 2nd, finished 2nd. It's going to be a McLaren were the team that kept it simple and strategy, and is there any surprise they got a 1-2? Honestly, man, it was like Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari just fucking forgot how to deal with wet conditions in this race. It was crazy, actually, looking back at it. Anyway, as for McLaren, I'm going to give Piastri a 7. Good qualifying, because it looked like they could have finished a lot worse than what they did. But the race, like, it's a good race, but what he did was idiotic. He's threw away the race fucking win. Why did he just slam the brakes on? And the penalty's justified. We can all hear, oh, British bias, British this. It was too dramatic, folks. It was too dramatic a break to get away with it, man. It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, guys, leave your thoughts down below. Big Stevie, fucking mental. But Lando Norris qualified third, finished first. I'm going to give Lando Norris a 9 out of 10. Early on in this race, he didn't really look all at the races, but he is all at the races now. So what am I going to give him? Well, I'll give him a 9. And that's it for your driver ratings. I'm a bit tired. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. But until next time, peace.